The documentary Wrestling with Angels, an exploration of Caribbeanness, gives insight into the identity of Caribbean people through the analysis of the skeleton of the music video. This is as music is seen as the art of the masses, a cultural form that is constantly fighting the forces of foreign influences. The video on one side creates a false perception or an idealized image of our culture, as well as the illusion that the Caribbean is but individual islands and not one collective body. Here, Jamaica and Trinidad are the major cultural players in the region. Whereas, on the other hand, in my opinion, we as Caribbean natives can form a cheap image of our culture, one that adapts to whatever it takes to reach the global market. It can show that we have little acceptance of who we actually are. So, what exactly does this video portray about Caribbean identity? Well, it is our roots, our culture, and our traditions. It is everything that we do in a specific time, place, and location. It is our behavior. It is our story, one that began in the age of exploration, one that invented a space of Caribbeanness for its people. It is the origin of music, how our rhythm section creates metaphors of our land and people, how it creates a melting pot of sound creating us. Our identity is unique, and music videos, media reflect and market our images and our ideas, our look, our Caribbean look through our Caribbean music, our beautiful natural landscapes, and our vibrant, colorful people. It archives these local sceneries, one like our language, one that is understandable in all Caribbean territories but not to outsiders. But our identity is not just our physicality. The videos, the lyrics, the rhythms itself, the instruments, the language, the phraseology, the feel it creates is all us, all Caribbean. But our identity here is not static. It is dynamic. It exists on a pendulum with one side carrying the vibrant character of the Caribbean and its people, and the other side portraying the effects of the media through the new imperialism theory. It shows how our local identity is being Americanized by one major invention, the television. A weapon that constantly wages war for our identity, a weapon that has eroded or diluted our culture, all just to meet the demands of a foreign palate, to meet foreign policies that deem that our culture is vulgar and inappropriate. And partly, this is because we are now developing a media base, especially regarding the television. We use what already exists as a base for our inspiration. But this is not always the case. We do in fact have local films that can act as a means to portray our identity. But I raise the question, what do we portray? Well, our local films only portray the negative aspects of our local Caribbean culture. War, crime, drugs, poverty, violence. They totally disregard the positive side, which I think these videos try to portray, but it is often undermined by foreign taste. Here's where the problem of imbalance arises. One portrays the overly glamorized side for the wider masses, whilst the other focuses on the gloomy negative side of social problems. Take for example our ghettos. Foreign markets want to see them like the soul and character of the people, when in fact these areas are associated with high crime levels. And I'm not saying that this negative side is all that characterizes these areas. I personally find that both sides should be portrayed because they are both major aspects of our local Caribbean identity. So, we have in fact adopted American cultural forms and made it part of our identity. But why must we look at the negative side of this? Why can't we just accept the fact that our culture and our identity is ever changing, just like Caribbean people? Why can't we as individuals accept the fact that we are finding new things, new aspirations, new inspirations? And now, I'm not saying that we should just slowly move away from our historical traditions. No, we shouldn't. But at the same time, we should choose what parts of their culture, what parts of their foreign culture we want to aspire to, and make it something new. Make it a new Caribbean identity. Make it a normal Caribbeanness.